it's just fun. It's a fun way to spend an afternoon. It's a fun, uplifting show. You'll leave smiling. You'll leave singing the tunes, and you'll fall in love with some of these characters. They're really really good. And I go out afterwards and speak to the audience that remains, and they're shocked at they're like, "Where did you come from? What theater were you at before? What theater are you going to?" We're Panic Production to bring a little bit of joy to people's lives, and I think that we do that every time we perform. My name is Paul Panico. I'm the producer of Footloose the musical. If you'd like to learn more, listen to this conversation. Number one, Michelle Elkin is brilliant, and her choreography brings this to life like it wasn't the first time I did it. She is a tremendous choreographer. She demands a lot. She gets a lot, and the kids love her. So yeah, it was a no-brainer when I considered it. I was toying with some other options, and I think they're familiar with Footloose. They're familiar with the music, and once they see the dancing, they'll fall in love with that. So I think those are, of course, and Barry is always, one of my number one people to go to as far as directing. He's very specific, and he makes all the scenes better. So yeah, but mainly it's because I knew she could do just an incredible job choreographing it. I did not do this the first time I did the show, but I was reading the writer's notes at the very beginning, and what he said was, this show is not about dancing. This show is about a boy who's lost someone and a father who's lost someone. And he said, replace the word dancing every time you hear it with the word forgiveness. So although there is incredible dancing and some great familiar music, it really is the struggle of parents and their kids and trauma and forgiveness. And so I think that really tells the story about Footloose. It's not earth shattering, but I happen to love the message. I wouldn't change a thing. It's a story that people can relate to. He as I think we all know, he's lost his son in a terrible accident due to an abuse of a controlled substance, be it drugs or alcohol. And he's got another daughter who I probably feel she's a little bit angry and also confused because he's turned not only her life, but the whole town in a way that doesn't suit most teenage kids. And so she's rebelling, and he's confused because he thinks he's doing the right thing. He sings a song about that. Because he's a religious guy, how can he get this town in shape so we don't have this kind of accident again? Because it was horrible for everybody. Small community in, I say Texas, but it could be any small town somewhere, I would guess Midwest. So the beginning, he's under control. You see it start to unwind. His daughter becomes more and more rebellious, and he finally loses it. And to the point where he is so angry that he does things that he would never, ever even consider doing and has never done in his life. And then this young boy, at that point where he's lost control, he has that's heartfelt conversation with this young boy who's come to town, who has experienced similar disappointment and devastation in his personal life. And they have a kind of a meeting of the minds where he senses this, that he's might have been taking the wrong path. And then there's the redemption. He realizes he hasn't done it the right way. Even though that happens, and there's that moment where he allows dancing to continue, he says to his wife, I'm still not sure I've done the right thing. So he's done what he had to do. He's willing to continue on and change his ways, but he's still not absolutely sure, even though. So there's a lot of conflict in him, but it's a happy ending. It's funny. People always say, "Do you get nervous?" I don't get nervous. It really is. For me, it's like a sport. It's like that little butterflies, but it's not nervous butterflies. It's just that excitement and to me, like with this show, it's the joy on the faces of these kids. I love to see the pure joy of them doing what they love. We are lucky because it took a while to find this group, but we found, 20 odd kids who have a genuine joy for theater. They're smiling, they're connected, and we're different ages, but there's a great connection with these kids. That synergy that really, I think, really propels them to a level that people want to see. They are truly happy to be doing what they're doing. So that joy, my first scene is I walk in and I'm facing them. They're all sitting there staring at me, and I look at their faces. I can't help but smile because they're so joyful. I don't know. That's in my little weird way. That's so gratifying to see them do that. And many of these kids, I can assure you, many of these kids are going to go on and do bigger and better and greater things. They're so talented. It's ridiculous. Why is it relevant today? Well, I think always, obviously we always have that struggle as parents to make sure our kids, go down the path that we would like to see them go down. And there are always kids who, make decisions that are not good decisions, and they sometimes get away with it, sometimes they don't. And it leaves, like grieving is for the people who are left behind. It's if you're, if you believe in a higher spirit, they're gone and in a better place. But we're stuck here remembering them, and that's the hardest part. So, it's protecting ourselves, and we're parents are protecting their kids, but they're protecting themselves either, because if something bad happens, they know that, the repercussions of that. So there's nothing worse, for a parent to lose a child. There's what could be worse. So I think that'll always be relevant. And of course, today we have all kinds of drug issues, which are horrible. So we hope that's never enters into people's lives like it is today, and hopefully it'll change. But it probably won't. So we'll have to deal with this. And this is a show that does deal with a pretty serious subject. I think it's very, very relevant. My name is Paul Panico. Our call to action for this particular production is you will walk away smiling. You will be happy. It's a great show. I've had people say I cried at moments, but I ended up leaving ecstatic, happy, dancing, and just really enjoying the evening. And that's what we want to give to you, is that feeling of just absolute joy. The cast emanates that, and I think you'll find that as well. See you at the theater.